Aviation Festival in London 2018. There's a lot going on. Apex Media has just caught up with Jouni Oksanen, who is the SVP, e-commerce, commercial, and marketing for AirBaltic. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. We just listened to your presentation where you were talking a little bit about how you segment your passenger base into different personas for more targeted marketing and thinking about how to talk to them. Can you explain how you do that a little bit?
Well, yeah, persona is maybe the wrong term to do it, but what we did, we actually had created a hypothesis of what are possible segments we can have there in our marketplace, but we didn't went to the direction of doing assumption and starting to act. We took all the data, what we had it, we took like a 5 years PNR data, the ticket data, and then combine that one with our hypothesis and seeing that actually there is a reasonable amount of people in each of the segments and are they really acting based on their segment. And we found it out. From 10 we came down to the 7 segments which are making really much more sense for us.
Okay, and were there any surprises there when you looked at the data in comparison to your hypothesis that you found you were wrong or you were really accurate about something?
Yeah, there was 3 different segments, which was totally that we in the office believe that it's a segment, but actually when you look at the data, it says, God, this is not actually even existing, so we need to drop it. So it was good learning process for ourselves to see that, don't just think that there is something, prove it with the data, and we found it out, and then we narrow it down, and now we have a 7.
Okay, and the different segments, I guess they would prefer to be spoken to or listen more or behave differently from one another. Can you maybe give an example of one segment and how they might behave, or how an airline can best market to them?
I'm not sure how you can put it squeeze it in a 1 minute or whatsoever. But yeah, think about yourself. You are not traveling for, you might be traveling as a business purpose most of the time. Yeah. But actually you're also traveling for the leisure purposes
for sure.
As well, with your boyfriend and such, and then you have a totally different type of needs. And to me, it's most important thing is to track the very first seconds of your actions with me, that which need you are going to kind of solve, and I need to then serve you based on that need. And that's the most important learning from the whole exercise what we did.
Okay, and just before we started this interview, you were showing me something pretty cool, a way that AirBaltic is sort of shaking up the loyalty game, literally.
Oh yeah, yes, we are. AirBaltic is a company which doesn't have a connection to alliances, so we are not in a one world or whatsoever. So, and 80% of our passengers are actually traveling only once or twice per year. So this is a huge amount of the people I need to address. And if I look at our traditional, or any airline's traditional loyalty program approach, it would mean that they need to be loyal for us like 10 years to get the free flight. Yeah. Doesn't make any sense in that sense. So what we started to think about, and we went to the, with our partners, we went to the software, let's say gaming approach, and we think about what is the good in a class of clans or whatsoever, why the people are re-engaging again and again and again, and we started to develop a kind of gamification approach. In our case, it means that basically every time you fly with us, you get a stamp. You come back from, let's say, Riga to London, and then you come back from London to Riga, you will get some perk waiting for you for the next time.
Right.
And so my idea is to stimulate the persons to always do another transaction with
flight right away.
Exactly. And in the top of that one, I have a totally new communication channel. I can always give them an update about how is your stamps doing. I can do the channel distribution shift, because I can say that this only happens in our own channel. You don't get these perks somewhere else.
Yeah.
And those are actually driving the things. We have been running that now like 5, almost 6 weeks, and the results are really promising ones.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Jouni.
Yeah.
And I hope you enjoy the rest of the Aviation Festival.
I will. Thanks so much.
Thank you. From Aviation Festival, I'm Marianne Simpson for Apex Media.